Chemicar USA is introducing its new spot weld cutter sharpener model S115. This machine allows you to sharpen 2 fluted cutters in 5 different diameters: 6.5, 8, 8.2, 9, and 10 millimeter. It will not sharpen 3 fluted or carbide cutters. The procedure is very fast and simple. I have an 8mm cutter that I'm going to install in the corresponding collet. Place the collet into the porthole and slide it forward until it cannot go any further. Now slide the cutter into the collet, and while lightly pushing, turn the cutter to the right until stopped. While holding the cutter in the extreme right position, turn the collet to align the Allen screw with the raised part of the cutter and not the grooved part. Now, tighten the Allen screw. Next, we will install the collet chuck. Slide the chuck over the collet with the cutaway towards the machine. Turn the chuck to the right as far as it will go, while making sure that the cutter is still in the extreme right position. Secure the chuck with the Allen screw. We are now ready to sharpen our cutter. Switch the machine on. Take the collet chuck with the cutter firmly installed out of the positioning port and insert it into the cutter sharpening port. The pin on the left side should fall in the cutaway of the chuck. Push the chuck in, then turn right and left until stopped by the pin. You should hear a grinding noise. Continue to turn the cutter right and left until the grinding noise comes to an end. Slightly pull the chuck out, turn it 180 degrees, and repeat the procedure. When the grinding noise stops, pull the collet chuck out of the cutter sharpening port and insert into pilot point sharpening port. The 2 pins on the left side should fall in the cutaway section of the chuck. Press lightly on the chuck. When the grinding comes to an end, rotate the chuck 180 degrees and repeat the procedure. When the grinding noise stops, switch off the machine. The cutter is now ready to be used again. Switch the machine on. Take the collet chuck with the cutter firmly installed out of the positioning port and insert it into the cutter sharpening port. The pin on the left side should fall in the pinhole of the chuck. Push the chuck in light pressure until the grinding noise comes to an end. Slightly pull the chuck out, turn 180 degrees, and insert the pin in the other pinhole. Apply light pressure until the grinding stops. The positioning procedure for short cutters is slightly different from the long ones. Insert the appropriately sized collet with the Allen screw facing the machine until you cannot go any further into the positioning port. Slide the cutter into the collet and use the Allen wrench to push it all the way forward. Grab the front of the cutter and turn it to the right until stopped. Keep the cutter in this far right position and tighten the Allen screw. Make sure that the Allen screw hits the raised part of the cutter and not the grooved part.